everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the Wrestling Through the Years podcast. I am the big D-I-Z Dizzle, and I'm here with the master of sexy, Doug.
Really? I got promoted?
Yeah.
Hi.
You were the apprentice of sexy before. Now
I was the sultan of shit stains.
Yeah. And we have Money E, who just came off a betting show, and now he's doing another stream. That motherfucker's always on the grind, working his ass off, keeping the fucking lights on over there. I'm proud of him putting the work in. And so Eric's here. And a long time I feel like we do this every month, but a long-awaited return to the show. A big deal. Cleneth's back.
Yes, I am.
It's good to
Glad
have
to be
you.
back.
I'm glad you're back, too. I think we all can say that.
Well, yeah. I feel bad that you were not invited to go to the Super Bowl this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, I was so hyped. I said, you know what? I want to request off and go. I have 4 weeks vacation. Of course, I'm going to use this time. And another person, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they're going. I am happy to go, and they're going to witness another ring number 2.
Yeah,
Go
they're going to
Bird.
witness Saquon run all over these fuckers.
He better run over the referee and put his cleat in his fucking face and fucking stomp on him.
I hope so.
But yeah, I hope Saquon shit. I'll be wearing my Barkley jersey. It's the wrong team, but I'll be wearing my bright red Barkley jersey, and I hope you guys can get it done. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. A lot of things to look forward to this weekend. Big fight, UFC fight. Sean Strickland and DDP. And then with the rematch, and not Diamond Dallas Page for fans of the show that are probably like, DDP? I thought he was doing yoga. No, Drake is Duplessis. And we got the Super Bowl on Sunday. And tonight for us.
Me and Doug and Sean are back tomorrow.
Yes, yeah, you guys are back. That's the slate for the show. I'm talking about sports, though. But yeah, you guys have the show tomorrow, and you're fucking going to kick that shit.
I had to plug it, so.
Well, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
I mean, I'm probably going to insult you in about 10 minutes, but I'm proud of you right now.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
And for us, for the WWE wrestling all around fans that are here for the show for wrestling, we got SmackDown tonight. We got a pretty stacked one. We're not going to do predictions tonight because we got a big topic with. We need the full hour and a half tonight, and we all want to watch SmackDown. So we're probably not going to do predictions tonight, but we got a big triple threat just announced to qualify for the Chamber, and tell the people who's in it. Then.
Drew McIntyre, Jimmy Uso, and L.A. Knight.
That's a big triple threat match. I'm excited for that one. Little Miss Bliss is making her debut. Are you going to that? Are you guys going to that? We're going.
Yeah, Cleneth, are you going on March 7th to SmackDown?
No, I am not. I was thinking about going to Dynasty. I want to go to Dynasty.
The ticket, trust me, I looked at both and I bought the WWE tickets. Go with Dynasty. The tickets are cheaper. Way fucking cheaper. AEW, see, I don't want AEW to be doing bad business-wise now, but it's a good thing for the consumer. And the fact that WWE is so hot, they're really fucking people over right now. WWE is making you, you got to be fucking doing really well for yourself to be a wrestling fan and go to all the events. Especially those guys that travel with them and go to every, they have to be, rich now, those guys. Because those, especially if you're getting
guys.
if we want front row tickets, that's fucking $2,500. That's $2,500. Almost $3,000.
Is that Brock Lesnar guy still in the stands? I never see him anymore. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he's still there.
I'm looking to go to SummerSlam, though. I am going to SummerSlam.
Where is SummerSlam?
Where is that?
I think it's going to be in
New York.
It's going to be in MetLife, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, my buddy Archie's planning on going because his granddaughter is a huge Cody Rhodes fan. So they were going to go to Saturday night's main event, but then he didn't want to go because of the travel. So he's like, we'll go to SummerSlam instead.
Yeah,
because they're based out of New Jersey.
I tell you, no, that's sick. But I'm excited for the SmackDown, and also it's the SmackDown after Elimination Chamber. So now I gotta, after work on Fridays, I gotta keep drinking my fucking Celsius and stay the fuck up for SmackDown, because that's the hard one nowadays. Every other one, AEW's fine, WWE, Raw making it a crisp 2.5 hours. Triple H, God bless you. I'm gonna name my firstborn Hunter. Like I love that because Monday nights have been amazing, and SmackDown is still a great show. But it's 3 fucking hours, dude, and there's a lot of filler on that bitch. And I'm sorry, in 2010 TNA, I'll watch the Motor City Machine Guns all day. Right now, they're not doing much for me, and they're putting me to sleep. And it's like when they come around 9 o'clock, I'm like, oh. So I mean,
I don't think the 3 hour SmackDown was worth it. Now if they make it to like 2.5 hours, yes, it's perfect. 2.5 hours of Raw is perfect.
They're going back to 2 in June. They're going, so that's good news. In June, they're going back to 2, which I really like that. But right now, it's a bit of a slog, and you got like your Codys and your no, and you got Kevin Owens, and if Randy comes back, and now Alexa's there, and Damian Priest and LA Knight, and you got some good stars there.
Is KO going to go to Raw now because he's going to feud with Sammy?
I don't know how they're going to work that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the different brands collide at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But, all right, let's get it. To finish the Royal Rumble season, we are here, the Wrestling Through the Years podcast. Now that the Royal Rumble is over and long gone, we're already looking forward to Elimination Chamber, but this show is still talking about Royal Rumble, damn it. For tonight only, we're doing the Royal Rumble rankings. This is going to be a big one, gentlemen. I'm going to try to do it in this one. It might go part 2, but we'll see. Just to address it at the beginning of the show. But we'll see how it goes here. We're going through every Royal Rumble in history, folks, except for the Saudi Arabia one, the greatest one. I'm sorry, Titus, tripping over the. We're not going to be talking about that. And,
you know what? I watched that one for nothing too. That was
you watched it? I told Eric. I should have told you. My bad.
I watched some of it. I skipped a few of them. I did watch the first 2. And they were stinkers to me. And this is why I can't watch like the old stuff. I just couldn't get into it.
You know, that's fair. I'm not a fan of the first Royal Rumble. The second one I did like. But it's fair that like because the first 2 Royal Rumbles meant jack shit.
Yeah.
If you really go back and look at it and think about it, they meant jack shit. Like all right, so a little bit of a backstory on the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble match concept was Pat Patterson's idea. Vince McMahon was going to run a television special on January 24th, 1988, because the Jim Crockett Promotions was running a pay-per-view on that day in New York City. I think they were running Long Island and Nassau. And Vince McMahon had fucked them over pretty good in November when he started the Survivor Series on the same day that they had Starrcade 87. And he threatened the cable companies and said, oh, yeah, by the way, if you run Starrcade, because cable companies are just like, all right, it's going to be a full day of wrestling. Starrcade in the afternoon, Survivor Series at night. And Vince said, no. If any of you run Starrcade, you can't have WrestleMania. So Vince McMahon, sodomized Jim Crockett Promotions. So basically the cable company said you can never run head-to-head on pay-per-view with Jim Crockett Promotions again. Vince said, okay, pal. Well, since they got a pay-per-view January 24th, I'm going to do a free television special. So he did. So that's how the Royal Rumble was basically. The Royal Rumble event was basically just created as a fuck you to Jim Crockett Promotions, which would eventually become WCW. But then they turned it into a pay-per-view event, and it's been a phenomenon.
Yeah. And the television special still worked, though. And people were into it, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Well, the television special worked, but see, the thing is that Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan thought they were going to do the commentary for the special, but then they ran an angle where Bobby Heenan went to Barbados instead because he had money from Ted DiBiase after he sold Andre the Giant's contract to DiBiase. And 2 days before the Royal Rumble event, Gorilla Monsoon had a heart attack. So they couldn't so Gorilla Monsoon wasn't there. So the call had to be done by Jesse Ventura and Vince McMahon. So yeah, like the television special worked, and they only did it as a 20-man battle royal, but they had a lot. I mean, the Royal Rumble pay-per-views have always been like filler. Like filler, like you have a filler undercard, and then it's always like a one-match show.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some times where it's just like,
I think there's been, and like, listen, we'll go back in time and talk about some of the championship matches that were on Royal Rumbles later on down the road. But there's been some really good Royal Rumble pay-per-views as a whole. It can be a one-match show, but it also can be something stacked with a bunch of good shit. I think of a lot of shows with some, and going back and watching some of these Rumbles, I've kind of like also watched the title matches beforehand, or at least the world title matches. Like even 95, like Shawn or fucking Diesel and Brett was great. Or was that was 95, right?
Yeah, that was 95. It was really good. 2001 though was the greatest Royal Rumble pay-per-view of all time.
Of course.
Yeah.
But there's great championship matches all around. Like
and what about 2000? Everybody's the year Triple H won. Nobody really talks about that Royal Rumble, but they not it was 2000 when The Rock won.
Yeah,
but nobody talks about that match. The match they talk about is the street fight with Cactus Jack and Triple H.
Yep.
Well, I think they don't talk about the Rumble match because Rock didn't technically win it. His feet hit the fucking floor, damn it. Big Show is the winner of that Royal Rumble.
We'll talk about another one that was similar.
But you know how many bosses are there? Look at the one of Batista so-called won. When McMahon blew out both his kneecaps.
Penta just did it. But let's start from the beginning, and then we'll recap every Rumble. I agree with Cleneth. The Rumble doesn't start getting hot until 92. The Hogan Rumbles are even kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
I think in 92 and on, it's a household name. Flair makes it, wins the gold. It's for stakes. And then beyond that, we go a WrestleMania shot, and we just build and do interesting finishes from that on. I think the Royal Rumble gets better over time. I really do. I mean, there's been some shitty ones for sure in modern eras, 100%, and we'll talk about them. But I think that at first it took a little while to catch some steam. It's not one of those gimmick matches that came out. It was like the shit right away. I think it took a while.
Even in 88, like the guys they used in 88, they didn't use Rick Rude. They didn't use Honky Tonk Man or Greg Valentine or Macho or Bam Bam Bigelow, and several others. They used guys like Danny Davis and Sam Houston and the Bolsheviks. There was a lot of guys, and I guess this kind of segues into starting with 88, right?
Yeah.
With the superstars.
Yeah.
All right, and if I'm gonna go first, you can technically designate it. I'm just trying to get us rolling here.
Yeah, let's do the 5. I mean, not the way you read them. Let me see. Wrote them. Let me see the categories again. Superstars, which is, and 1 through 10, we're gonna rate all these. Read them off.
All right, the
criteria to rate this shit.
All right, superstars, storylines, action, entertainment, and WrestleMania payoff.
Yes. So, who are the main superstars in this deal?
Hacksaw, King Harley Race, One Man Gang, Jake the Snake Roberts, The Hart Foundation, Tito Santana, Dino Bravo, The Rock Don Morocco, and Ultimate Warrior and Junkyard Dog.
And Bret Hart had the longest time in this.
Yes, he entered in number 1.
The final 4.
This was only 20 man.
Don Morocco and Dino made it in the final 4, didn't they?
Yes, it was Don Morocco, Dino Bravo, One Man Gang, and the Hacksaw.
Don't forget, this is only a 20 man Rumble.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's the main thing. On the superstars in here, the golden age in '88, they were still hot with the Hogan era, and they had some really good guys. I will give this, because it's not the big stars yet, and there was still the first one. It was kind of a mid card match. It felt like with mid card guys to get over. So I'll give this a 6 out of 10. I think it's a little there's some good guys in there, but I don't think it's enough.
Okay. Who do you want to go next?
You.
I'll go.
Rate the superstars.
5. I mean, and I'm a fan of some of these guys, but to me, it just wasn't a major match.
Eric?
Yeah, I agree with Doug. 5.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll take him a 5 as well.
All right,
I mean,
When was the last time me, Doug, and Cleneth all agreed?
yeah. All right, 21 points so far. Now, are we doing it all?
Yeah, no, we're gonna go down the line through the criteria for that Rumble, and then we're gonna go up after that. All right. So what's next?
Storylines.
What are the big? Are there any big stories going into this?
All right, Tito Santana and Bret Hart started at 1 and 2. There was a big feud going on at the time. Strike Force versus the Hart Foundation for the WWF tag titles.
Yes.
King Harley Race and Hacksaw Jim Duggan had a feud, but Race got eliminated by Don Muraca before Duggan even got in the ring. Sam Houston and Danny Davis had a big feud. One Man Gang and Don Muraca were feuding at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. 5 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 3.
I'm going to go 1.
I'll give it a 2.
All right, we're at 32 points so far for 1988.
Okay.
All right.
Action.
I'm just trying to read your handwriting. The action. There was some good moments in this, and I do think that there was some good. It was a little boring because it was the first one, but I'll give this a little higher of a mark. I'll give this a 6.
So one of the big things to me was when the Bolsheviks, like Boris Zhukov, he comes out, Nikolai follows him.
Yeah.
But they couldn't let Nikolai in the ring yet because it wasn't his number.
Yeah.
So Nikolai goes, but then Boris gets eliminated right away, but then Nikolai's allowed to go in. One of the big high spots for me was when Tito Santana was getting beat up 3-on-1 by the Hart Foundation and the natural Butch Reed.
Yeah.
And then Jake Roberts just came in, and Butch Reed's feet were kind of elevated off the ground a little bit, so Jake just dumped him. Other than that, not necessarily any big moments. So I'll say a 5.
I'll say a 3.
All right.
I'll give it a 2.
All right, we're at a 48.
There's a pattern here.
Next up, we have entertainment. What was the entertainment value out of this? Were you really fucking with it, or did you get bored? I got a little bored, so I'd give it a 4.
And again, I love this era, but this particular match, was a little boring to me. So I'll say a 4 as well.
I give it 1 because the first time I watched it, it was like in the background, and I had to rewatch it today. So
1?
Yeah, 1.
Cleneth?
Yeah, I'll want to give it a 1 as well.
All right. We're at 58 points. 88's not doing so well. And instead of going up year after year, we'll jump around a little bit.
Okay.
Since you have it all written down, we'll be able to do that.
All right.
All right. The last part, the WrestleMania payoff, which is
there wasn't one,
and that really doesn't start till 93. But it kind of does, because even though you don't get the WrestleMania shot, like Ultimate Warrior was a big deal in the 90 Rumble, and then he goes on and wins the title off Hogan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like Hogan won the Rumble in fucking 91, and before he fought Slaughter, right?
Yeah.
It was 91, right?
Yeah.
So like I mean, it was kind of a thing already, but it didn't be made official until after 92, the championship, and then 93, the payoff. There wasn't really a payoff from this. Did Duggan work with any of these guys at WrestleMania?
No, he worked the tournament match with DiBiase.
Okay, so I mean, clearly a 0 out of 10.
Yeah. I guess I got to say 0 as well.
We all going 0?
I'll give it a 1.
I'm going to give it a 0.
Eric gives it a 1. So, all right. So the official total in the Royal Rumble rankings for 1988 is 59 points. So that's nice. The one to beat right now. Right now it's in first place. I don't think it's going to last that long. There's something that tells me it's not going to last that long. But it might work out. 59 points for 88. We're going to jump around a little bit because like we don't want to just talk about the old ones forever and then like part 2.
I mean, I do.
I know. But it's not always about you. So we're going to jump to so the next one we're going to do, in my opinion, a very underrated Royal Rumble. 2002. Ruthless Aggression, baby.
Okay.
The superstars in this, the main superstars, obviously the front runners to win, Steve Austin, Triple H. And then you had like the returns in this one, and like I think surprises can kind of, I mean, surprises are a little bit entertainment, but it's also in the stars. The return of Goldust at the time was fucking cool, and the return of Mr. Perfect was amazing. I mean, you even got Val Venis in there and Godfather, but I don't give a shit about that. But
you gotta respect the Godfather, man. I love the Godfather.
I like his later Royal Rumble appearance. Was it
2013?
2013, yeah. But this did have some big money stars. And Kurt Angle was in this.
Kurt Angle, Undertaker, Big Show, Kane, RVD, Booker T.
Our final 4 was
Perry
Angle,
Saturn.
Perfect, Triple H, and Austin.
The return of Triple H.
Yeah, that was a good joke about Perry Saturn. He's a big star.
Thank you.
Angle, Mr. Perfect, Steve Austin, Triple H is our final 4. We know who wins this thing. Triple H is his big return, babyface thing. For the stars in the front, I think this is pretty high up there. They had a pretty good roster at the time. I mean, they would have a better roster later on in the year, but I would still give this an 8 out of 10. Easy.
Okay.
Yeah, star-wise, I'll give it a 9.
All right, you're going to go 9?
Yes, I will go 9.
All right, Eric's at 7. I'm going to I know I don't say this a lot. I'm going to agree with Cleneth. I'm going to say 9.
Okay. What did Eric give it?
7.
So we're already at 33. 88's not looking too good.
88 might be bottom barrel.
It's in the first one already, and we're already at fucking 33. All right. Next up, we have the storylines. That's what makes a Royal Rumble. That's what makes it. Steve Austin getting back there was a big storyline, I would say.
Yeah, they're saying, can Austin win a 4th Rumble? You also had the Triple H Kurt Angle beef. Triple H making his return. Kurt Angle making his Royal Rumble match debut.
His debut.
Undertaker having Undertaker with this new attitude.
Triple H coming back from the injury was probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
I think his whole Royal Rumble was based circus around Triple H.
But you especially watching it, going back and watching it, you can, and not knowing the stories at the time, you could definitely think that Austin could get that.
Yeah.
You definitely think Austin could go for number 4.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I was talking to my friend about this because I'm just trying. I had to skip around and watch some of these Royal Rumbles. I said, "What do you watch?" He said, he's looked at me. He's like, you realize if you really think about it, it was only certain years that makes me make a Royal Rumble when you do not know the winner of the Royal Rumble. A lot of these Royal Rumbles was like you could tell who were going to win each year over the fan reaction and what this big storyline was about.
Yeah. 100%.
Just like 2002. You saw Triple H's return. We all know he's in the Royal Rumble. He's going to WrestleMania. I mean, it takes the thrill out of it. But
Well, Triple H showed you this year. I mean, they got you this year. They got us all.
Oh yeah, he got us good.
Jey Uso was winning that bitch. Nobody thought he was winning that fucking match.
And that's what makes the Royal Rumble like the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. That and I put that in kind of entertainment is the unpredictability of it. But I would think the storylines in here were still pretty solid.
Oh yeah, they were.
I would give it a 7. I didn't think it made the match. Like there were certain things throughout that made the match, like little stories that maybe developed in the Rumble, but storylines going into it, I think it was Triple H's big return. And that's about it. And his babyface run isn't my favorite, so I would only give it a 7.
I'm going to agree with you and say 7.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 as well.
I'll give it 7.5.
Well, we're already beating Royal Rumble 88. We're at 61 points. You can't go 7.5.
Oh, 7.
I'm not doing decimals. Don't fuck me over with the ratings. Me and Doug are already working overtime over here. I got the calculator. I'm not doing decimals. You give it a 7.
Calculator. What's the point of a decimal? Like,
he's got to write it down, and then we got to calculate it later. You know it's a pain in the ass, and it's gonna suck.
No, it's not. It's a half a point.
No, all right, fine. I'll half a point.
No, don't give in to him. You're either going 7 or 8.
I already typed in 7. So you want to go 8?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll go 8.
God. Yo, Eric, I took up for you.
Well, thanks, Cleneth. I appreciated that. That's for sure. Fucking pains in my asses. All right. At least they're getting me hot, not you this time.
Yeah. Well, no, because I would just tell Eric I tell both of them to fuck off. And
Cleneth, you got to see.
If they don't like it, hang up.
You got to see last week's Raw breakdown, Cleneth. I'll send you the episode.
I started watching. You know, I did not know you guys did some of that because I'm like, I can join in.
Oh, dude, definitely. Yeah, we'll text you when we do it more because last week was a doozy.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble one, not the Raw one.
Yes, the Royal Rumble breakdown was hilarious for a couple moments specifically.
Yeah, Eric having a fucking meltdown, greatest thing he's ever done on the podcast, and he apologized.
He lunged at the camera, Clinton. It was fucking big.
Was it because Charlotte won the Royal Rumble? Is that why? I understand.
No, it's because I said I had no faith in him.
Wow.
Doug pissed him off.
Which
who would have thought?
Which, I thought it was already common knowledge. I didn't think it was going to be.
I have all the faith in the world of Eric.
Oh, God.
Don't get me started with Charlotte, please.
Oh, God. Now we're getting.
We're going to get to one of those later on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't worry. I got you, Eric, for Charlotte. Don't worry.
All right. I had storylines, right?
Yeah.
Let's go on to action. I thought that is what this delivered, like 10 out of 10. I would give this a 10 because you had the big moments like fucking Maven making it like this is the reason Maven has a successful YouTube channel right now is kind of in the business is because of that one moment. That made fucking Maven. It was eliminate the Undertaker, then the Undertaker beat the shit out of him after. That was a great moment. And you had great wrestlers in here. Like Mr. Perfect could go this night. It was like old Mr. Perfect in there. And you had Kurt Angle, who's arguably the best of all time, and good brawling from Steve Austin. I liked the Hurricane trying to choke slam Austin and Triple H at the same time.
That was fucking hilarious.
That was one of my favorite moments in this thing. So I would give the action of this 10 out of 10 because I thought this was a very good Rumble. This kept me entertained the whole time. I didn't get bored. Even knowing Triple H was going to win, I was entertained by what was going on. I liked the roster at the time. So
yeah. I'll say
okay.
Well, yeah, I do agree with Doug. I will say a 9 too. But that maybe eliminating the Undertaker had to be the highlight of the night.
Yeah,
no one saw it coming.
Yeah, that's what I thought of when I thought of it. When I was like, I'm going to go back and watch 2002, I'm like, that's the one where Maven got the Undertaker out, right? Like, that's how I associated it.
Yep, I remember that. That was awesome.
What'd you give it, Eric?
I give it a 9.
So we're at 99?
Yeah.
Wow.
And a half. Well,
No,
good.
we didn't do the half.
Technically, we gave him over the half, so it should be 98.5. But that's neither here nor there. That was fun. All right. So, yeah, we're kicking 88's ass, and now we're on to entertainment. We still got 2 categories left.
And by the way, like the way it is, because there's 4 of us, and there's technically 50 points that can be given.
Yeah.
So it's already 99 out of a possible 200 points that can be given. So this thing could go up to about 200, as close to 200 as possible.
Yes.
So 200 points are available. We've hit 99 so far. I mean, it's not going to get to 200 because of 8s and 7s that were given, but
you could get there.
Yeah. One of the Rumbles could get there.
All right.
The Charlotte one.
Entertainment. That was right. This was an entertaining Rumble. I had fun during it. I would give this one probably a 9 because I thought the wrestling was a little better than the entertainment value, but I still did enjoy what I watched.
If you look at a lot of the stuff that happened in the Rumble, the Maven drop kick, the Austin Triple H interactions, everybody kind of ganging up on Austin getting eliminated. I'm going to say, as far as entertainment value goes, I'm going to give it a 10.
Okay. And this is the first real Rumble with big surprises.
Well, the 4 returns were announced on SmackDown like a couple weeks prior.
Oh, okay.
There was like a big
announced.
Fucking that up. What'd you give it though?
I gave it a 10.
All right. Plus 10. Eric?
I'm giving it a 9.
I want to give it an 8.
I'm happy about that too, Sean.
All right.
9s and 8s?
Yep.
All right, we're at 135. Next up, we got the WrestleMania payoff. Now, this one is the one that might sink it a little bit because this payoff kind of sucked. Triple H and Jericho is considered one of the more disappointing WrestleMania events of all time. And I know what you're going to say. You were there. You saw it. You saw people.
I'm not going to say I was there. I was going to say I was in attendance.
Okay. But nobody gave a fuck about that main event. The crowd didn't give a shit. And you were a part of that crowd. And nobody cared after they were so dead from Hogan and Rock, even if they did put on a good match, which it was just okay. And the storylines, like what Jericho says that he originally wanted to go with, of him sleeping with Stephanie and fucking doing that would have worked. But him just being Stephanie's bitch and like he's just kind of this like annoying little, and he's like Stephanie's like really the main character and Jericho's just wrestling for her pretty much. I didn't like it. And like, so I would give the WrestleMania payoff for this probably like a 3 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Because this isn't one like Triple H's babyface run kind of sucked.
He won the match.
He's a heel.
He won the match. He pedigreed the bitch. So I'm giving the WrestleMania payoff a 7.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 6.
Big disagreements here. Plus 6.
Sadly to say, I'll have to agree with Doug and give it a 7 as well.
Okay.
I mean,
Jesus Christ, guys. I didn't know there was so much love for that WrestleMania main event, but no one ever
well,
talked about it.
it's not love. I look at it as like this. It was a big.
How many times have you seen on WWE TV Rock and Hogan facing off? You never see the pedigree to Stephanie. You never see fucking him and Jericho facing off. No one gave a shit about that match, but I respect it.
No,
So
all right, if you look at it as a payoff, look at it as like, was the Rumble winner used correctly at WrestleMania? The way I look at it, was used correctly into the build-up of winning of main event in WrestleMania and winning a worth a title match. Triple H was worth a title match. Now I can't help it that you want his so-called ex-wife or wife or whatever you want to call it at the time wants to cheat on him, and then the whole thing about the AK-47 from
I just didn't like the storyline. I didn't care about the match. To me, it's not a great match. Like, yeah, he came out and won it. So, like, if we're ranking it that, like, were they successful in it? Yeah, then yeah, I'll give them that. But as far as like, was it a great WrestleMania payout? Like, do I want to watch the movie of the Royal Rumble and then the sequel of the WrestleMania? No, I don't give a shit about that. I'm gonna watch this match and then I'm gonna go watch Rock and Hogan.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, so this did almost 100 points better than 88.
158 compared to 59.
Yeah, so 99 points ahead.
We know who's in the lead so far.
Can I pick the next one?
Yes.
I'm gonna pick one that me and Cleneth both attended, 2015.
Oh God.
Here we go. Now you're gonna get
Here's the thing. It was a really good Royal Rumble. This is actually a Royal Rumble that I think would have benefited from an empty arena because the crowd turned it from a 10 to a 2.
Oh my God!
But me and Cleneth were there, so we have different.
No, you two were part of the problem.
Hey, how are we part of the problem?
You two were part of the problem because
well, you were part of the problem at WrestleMania. You should have cheered Triple H on.
I did. I cheered him on because he was a babyface. All right, but you two were part of the, and it's not just your fault. Like the fans as a whole were the issue, and I understand. Daniel Bryan was your hero. You know, you're creaming your shorts every time he comes out. He does the yes, and I'm not necessarily talking about Cleneth. We know who I'm talking about. And I understand it. Everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win. He's a sentimental favorite. He didn't get a proper run after he won the titles the year before. I understand that. The company did not believe in him in the first place. All right, because he's not Vince McMahon's
puppet.
He was not Vince McMahon's cup of tea. Vince McMahon's cup of tea are the big muscular guys that can help him shit on an intern's head. But like, so
I got something when you're done.
Like, so to me, this Royal Rumble was really good if it was in a different city. Because I understand. And I understand the Philadelphia fans are passionate and all that, and I get that.
Yeah.
But like the whole thing, you're taking that out on a guy who did not deserve all the hate. I understand he was not your cup of tea, and you guys are allowed to like who you want to like. But I think you guys were way too harsh on Roman Reigns. And again, I'll say this, shut up, I'm not done.
I'm sorry.
All right.
You had like 10 minutes, though. I mean, this is a podcast.
I mean, like, the thing is that I understand Daniel Bryan's your cup of tea, and, you know, Roman Reigns was not your guy. But for one, Daniel Bryan, in my opinion, sucks. All right? He's overrated. All he does is kick. His WWE run was the shits. All right? 2005 to 2009 Ring of Honor Bryan Danielson, that you cannot argue against that. Yes, he was the best in the world. 2010 to 2021 WWE Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the best in the state of Washington.
Okay.
Now I'm done.
All right, he's done.
Can I rebuttal? Can I have a rebuttal?
Yeah, and you guys should, because he was there. But I have a quick thing next to that is that the one thing I'll say before they rebuttal, and in defense a little bit, is go back in that match, look at Roman at the time, and look at him now. Yep. I'm sorry, Doug, he was not ready. The fans were right to not want him. To suck Daniel Bryan, no, but Roman was not ready, and Roman should not have won that match. He should not have been pushed then. He should have been developed more and pushed now. That, like, he is what he is now, and he's great and good for him, and I'm a Roman fan now. But back then, he was not fucking ready, and you could see it even in the match.
Well, I'm not saying he should have won. I'm saying you took your frustrations out on the wrong guy. I get it. You didn't want him. You didn't want him to win. You wanted Daniel Bryan. I understand it. Personally, I wanted Dean Ambrose.
See, there you go. There was other guys that got that.
See, that's what I was talking about too. I wanted Dean too, but he got eliminated. He was what the second and last eliminated.
Yeah, and here's the one thing I will shit on that Royal Rumble for, besides the audience. Big Show and Kane had no business being in the Final Four. I get it; they were trying to holster the Royal Rumble records, but you're supposed to build the future. The future of the company is not two big fat fucks who have been there for 15 years.
Oh, Kane and Big Show?
Yes.
100%. And to build that, try to build heat with that to get, because it was basically them like, oh, let's make Roman look good by having two of the more hated guys in the company.
Here's the thing. Here's
you gotta let Eric go after.
Well, yeah, here's my theory on this. I feel like the crowd would have been more forgiving towards Roman had the Final Four been Rusev, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns.
Okay. Eric, go.
And it's night and day between 2015 Royal Rumble and 2024 WrestleMania. WrestleMania 40, we loved Roman Reigns.
Yes, and now we love him, and he's the OTC, and they made him into an organic, good babyface, not a babyface that's pushed down people's throat. I get what you're saying, and I do agree to an extent, and I agree that the Daniel Bryan shit is a little much. But I will say that Roman Reigns was not ready, and he should not have been in that position. And I don't blame the fans for trying to tell WWE, hey, this guy's not ready. Don't push him down our throats, please. They say, we listen to the fans. The fans tried to talk to them. I know, I get he's a babyface and you're trained to love the babyface. He wasn't a great babyface at the time. He's great now, even though he still acts like he did when he was a heel right now. He's doing the same exact shit. But still, people love him.
You have to bring out The Rock.
Look, we got to get past this episode, though. We're already 41 minutes in. We're on the third Rumble. As the superstars in this, the main front runners were obviously Roman, Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt, Randy, Dean Ambrose.
Randy wasn't in it.
Oh, Randy wasn't in it?
No.
Okay, Dean Ambrose.
I mean, as far as the superstars in it, I give it a 6.
I give it a 6 too.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5.
Wow.
Eric?
I'm giving it a 10 just because I was there. I enjoyed it.
He loved it. That's fucking crazy. That's a weird reason because I was there.
I told you it's different perspective when you're live there.
It is.
I've been to 2 different Royal Rumbles.
What was the other one?
Well, you went to 2018, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right, which was a lot better Royal Rumble, because I feel like
that was a good one.
Because one, the match was better because they went in a different direction than I think people thought they were gonna.
Well, and the fans wanted that. They actually listened to the fans on that. He was hot. Shinsuke was hot, and Asuka was hot in NXT, and 2 great Rumble matches.
Yeah,
Yep.
We'll get into those, and then the WrestleMania payoffs on those better be 0, gentlemen. I better not have to argue that because they got the WrestleMania moments and both got fucked over at WrestleMania, or they got the Rumble moments and then got fucked at WrestleMania. But yeah, did we all rate this?
Yeah,
superstar wise. All right. So the storylines going into this is obviously the Shield issue, or Roman trying to win, the Bray Wyatt shit. What else?
Just the Authority wanting their guy, one of their guys, to win the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
They not wanting Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan or Ryback or Dolph Ziggler or Dean Ambrose to win.
Yeah, Dean was hot too, or Dolph was hot too at the time because this is off that Survivor Series thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, he was in a good place to where he could have won it. He'd be a dark horse pick. Yeah, I would give this a 4. I don't think the storylines going into this were that good.
I would say 5.
All right. Eric?
You're going to call me crazy again. 10.
All right. He was there.
I mean, well, one, and here's the thing. I understand the bias here because he was there. And it is a different perspective of being there live. Now, whether the different disrespective is coming from the fact that he can't see that well because his head is up his ass, we don't know. But, But like it's the same thing. Like, all right, so when we did, because we kind of have the same format on the Saturday show on the Cartoon Classic when Tunes Combined.
Yeah.
All right. Pokemon, he scored 10 for every category for Pokemon. Okay. Now Sean was trying to be unbiased. This fuck did not care. He's like, Pokemon's my favorite fucking show. I'm making sure it's going to win. I'm giving it a 10. All right. And there's nothing wrong. There really is nothing wrong with that. Do we have to agree with him? More than likely, I will not, because I don't want to be wrong. But he is allowed, unfortunately, and who knows, maybe in 4 years he won't be allowed to have an opinion, depending on what our president does. But he is allowed.
Hopefully he crows and dies by then.
Now we're going political. The Wrestling Podcast, baby. It's the four great guys to talk politics.
Yeah,
me and Doug need to stay the fuck away from politics. We're controversial enough with wrestling. All right.
I mean, Cleneth, Eric, and I are each old enough to run for president.
That's true.
I'll be a great president. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'm not going to dispute that. Cleneth, you
I'm not
still
going to
have
argue
to
that
give
either.
you still have to give him a number for
storylines.
Storylines, I want to give it a 5.
All right. 51 points we're sitting at. This one's almost beaten.
Well, yeah, it's almost beating 88.
All right. Next up, action. What do we think of the brutality in the match? I thought this was a good wrestling match with some cool moments. It didn't
need the boogeyman.
They didn't need the boogeyman. But the action in it, I thought it was all right. I would only give it a 6. I thought there was some good wrestling in this, and I think Roman did try, but like I said, he wasn't ready. And like Daniel Bryan getting eliminated really sucked the life out of the fucking room.
If they would have, first of all, he should not have entered at 10. There's no way nobody on the creative team saw that, okay, they're in Philadelphia. This is a hardcore crowd, a lot of pricks. There's no way that nobody saw that, all right, if we have him eliminated before Roman gets out there, because I'm pretty sure Vince is just like, well, if he gets eliminated before Roman gets out there, pal, he's not going to outshine Roman. No, but you're going to piss about 20,000 people off. So I wouldn't have had him enter at 10. I would have had him enter at like 22.
Yeah. But here's the thing I'm missing. I think your overreaction, you may seem like we were like bashing the Beast 96 when we just started throwing trash and cans in the ring at Roman when he won the match. That's your reaction gave me that kind of like vibe.
You did listen. The crowd killed that baby fit. Anyone at home that wanted to like Roman and was like, this is a big moment. When the guy's standing there fucking like, and he's got the Rock next to him, and you guys are like, fuck yeah! And he's fucking, wow! Like, it's so much loud noise in the wrong direction to where it's like, it does take away from them, but like, he won it and they're trying to have a moment and the crowd's pissed. Like, it doesn't. Like, you weren't rioting or nothing.
No, you weren't rioting, but it's just like,
getting the Hulk Hogan treatment, for God's sake.
This is one of the this is the first time I've watched the 2015 Royal Rumble since it first aired, because I cannot stand the crowd reaction. In my opinion, just like your reaction, and I understand your freedom of speech, all that blah 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 bullshit. You guys are allowed to react how you want to react because you pay the money for the ticket to go to the show.
Yes.
I felt like you were being unfair to Roman. If I'm the only one that thinks, huh?
No, I totally understand that.
Okay. I felt like you were being unfair to Roman. So, and the fact that you're shitting on his moment or whatever, which is understandable because he was not ready. But to me, the crowd just really took out of the match just because it's just like, all right, I don't want to hear fucking, 20,000 people boo somebody where it's not his fucking fault. It's the idiot writing this shit.
All right, well, that's more entertainment anyway. Did you rate the action? Did you give me a rating for action? I rated the action.
5.
Okay.
10.
10? Oh my God, Eric. All right, Cleneth.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
You know what?
Cleneth was there too. Cleneth being fair. Cleneth's actually judging the Rumble.
I'm judging her. I should get over there. I look at it like this. Yes, it's a difference between TV and when you're live, you miss kind of because you don't listen to the commentary. You don't listen to what happened. So you go home. I go home and I rewatch it on TV. So I get to hear, oh, this is what they was talking about this. Or this is what happened to that.
Yeah.
The entertainment, I would give it 2. I didn't enjoy this entertainment-wise.
I would say 4.
It was at 79.
I would do it at 3.
All right, 85.
All right, and Eric, not Eric, because we know what Eric's going to say. Cleneth said 3.
You want to know something fun?
Yeah.
Here's something interesting.
Are you giving it a 10, Eric?
Yeah, I'm giving it a 10. But that day was the first time I heard Boxman. That was the first time I was introduced to Boxman.
Yeah, back when he was part of a shit show.
HT. Yep.
All right, the WrestleMania payoff. Isn't this the first Brock match?
This is the first Brock match.
The Rollins cash-in made that very good. It's not. I know he didn't win, and I know he did, but I think the fact that he didn't win and he didn't get booed out of WrestleMania, and that he was a part of actually a cool moment in that story, it's more of a wrinkle in the Rollins Roman thing. I would actually give that a 7 because I do think like the WrestleMania was better than the Rumble in my opinion because of that cash-in.
I'll give it a 7 too.
That's the only one that doesn't get a 10. All right. Well, he wasn't at WrestleMania.
Well, that's the thing. And again, he does not know how to be unbiased.
I know.
So,
all right.
like tomorrow when we do when Tunes Combined, because he picked a lot of the shows that are on tomorrow, or because he picked the group that we're doing tomorrow, and a lot of those shows he picked because he's fans of. So they're probably all fucking getting fucking 10s or whatever, which is fine. I'm not saying that they don't deserve it. I mean, I hate Pokemon, so that's why I'm shitting on that. But we're
gonna have to do a part 2 to this episode.
Yeah.
All right.
WrestleMania payoff for me, I'm gonna say, because to be honest with you, I wanted Roman to win the title because I wanted it to tell Eric to go fuck himself the next day. So I'm giving the WrestleMania payoff a 3.
You know what I like about you? You don't take anything personal.
All right. So my WrestleMania payoff, I want to say, I look at it like this. Okay, even though Roman won, and I wasn't happy with it, I did want him to win. Someone to take that stupid title off Brock Lesnar. I don't care who it was, as long as Brock Lesnar left without the title. Now, Seth cashing in was a rabbit hole, but I think Roman was there to be because we all knew that Seth was not going to pin Brock Lesnar 1, 2, 3 on a cash in.
No. All right.
But I will give it a 6.
All right. So that means that Royal Rumble 2015 sits at 121.
It beat out 88.
It beat out 88.
If we did the greatest Royal Rumble, that would beat out 88.
I don't know if I said, but we're not doing any of the Raw and SmackDown Rumbles either.
Okay.
It's only Royal Rumble event.
All right.
So 121, that's sitting at number 2, but it's behind 2002 at 158. That's still in the lead. We're going to go back now, gentlemen, and we're going to go back to the year 1994.
Yes.
This is a big one. They try some different shit with this one. I'm a fan of it. Let's talk about the stars. You got Diesel in this bitch. You got Yoko. You got
Yoko was in the title match.
Okay. You got Shawn Michaels, right?
Yes.
You got Bret Hart. You got Lex Luger.
Macho Man Randy Savage in his last Royal Rumble. Bam Bam Bigelow, Tatanka,
Fat 2.
The Head Shrinkers, the Steiner Brothers, Jeff Jarrett, Owen Hart, Doink the Clown.
Which one?
The babyface one. Can't forget the great Tenryu and Kabuki from Japan.
Yes.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Virgil, big star.
Perry Saturn was a bigger star than fucking Virgil. Because they had this is like the shittiest era of WWE. New Generation doesn't get a lot of love for a reason. They had some good shit in there, but the undercard is what kind of made up of this Rumble, and was with the big stars, but it didn't do much for me. This is the cactus match, the casket match, right?
Yeah, where 25 people got involved.
Yeah, all the heels.
Yeah.
All right. The stars, I'll only give this a 4.
All right. I'm going to be a little kinder. I'm going to say 7.
Eric?
I'm going to be even more kinder. 8.
He was there. All right. All right, Cleneth.
Well, it was in Providence, Rhode Island, which is only like a 5-hour drive.
There you go. Cleneth?
That was 9.
7. All right.
It was probably my favorite Rumble of the old era.
The storyline's going into it, Doug.
All right. Earlier in the night, Owen Hart kicked Bret Hart in the knee. So it's like, okay, is Bret Hart even going to make it? Because Bret Hart hurt his knee. Owen Hart, the storyline was Bret Hart was Bret Hart going to, first day with my new tongue, was Bret Hart going to make it into the Royal Rumble? Lex Luger got beat up in the back by Tenryu and Kabuki. Was he going to make it into the Royal Rumble? You had, Bam Bam Bigelow and Tatanka. They were both in the Rumble match. All right, they were both in the Rumble match. They wrestled each other early in the night. What was going to happen between the two of them? Crush and Macho Man Randy Savage hated each other. Bam Bam Bigelow and Doink hated each other. And plus, you had all the guys who helped Yokozuna beat The Undertaker. They were all in the fucking match.
Yeah. We're on storylines, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did any of us give it a rating yet?
Not yet.
I'll give it a 9.
Okay. It felt like, and because storylines is more like who could win it too. Luger or Brett was the only two options. That's what it seemed like to me. I know you had other guys in there, but it felt like either Luger was the next Hogan and Brett was like the company guy. And Brett got screwed after WrestleMania and everybody felt bad for him. So it kind of felt like it was going to be one of those two for me. Did I give it a rating yet?
No.
8.
All right, I'm gonna give it an 8 as well.
And I will give it an 8 as well.
All right, it's already being Royal Rumble 88. We're at 59 points.
Okay, well, so it's tied after 2 categories.
So now we got the action in it. Good wrestled match. I'm not going to talk about the finish till entertainment because I think that's when it really comes to pass. But I do think that there was some good action in it. Luger did some good stuff. Brett's always
Diesel eliminated 7 men in a row.
This was kind of Diesel's coming out party almost.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a, and that's why they call that, like when Kane did it, like it was called the Diesel spot after that. Like being a powerhouse and like cleaning house. It was called the Diesel spot. Yeah. Because Diesel fucking did this. So I really enjoyed the in-ring action. I'll give it a 7.
So, Bam Bam Bigelow and Crush both went over. Crush went 26 minutes. Bam Bam went over 30. I'm giving it a 10 for the action.
There you go. 76. Eric?
I thought there was some good action in this. I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it a 9.
This was a lot of fun, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
This is cool.
This was really good.
I want to give it an 8 as well.
You give it an 8 or a 9?
Yeah, I'll give it an 8.
Eric gave it a 9.
All right, we're at 93 points. We're at 93 points going into entertainment. Entertainment, I'll talk about the finish for this one. I think this is when they really started getting interesting with the Royal Rumble. And they're like, let's do some different shit. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want a clear winner. But this was cool. And even though like this was on purpose, and when Cena and Batista did it, it was on accident. And it just happened. Like both feet literally touched the fucking floor. But This one, I like what they were trying to do. Both guys still look strong. You feel bad for Lex because he gets screwed later on, but that'll be in the payoff. I thought I'll give this category a 10 out of 10 for the finish alone because I thought it was very entertaining. And throughout the match, I was like not knowing what's going to happen, you really think, is it going to be Luger or Brett? And the fact that it's both of them, I think is very interesting.
I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to say 10.
Okay.
I'm agreeing both of you. I'm giving it a 10 too.
All right.
I will say at 10 as well.
Okay.
10's across the board.
That's a big fit. That to me, that's one of the better Royal Rumble finishes.
A perfectly bold frame.
A big one too. All right, the WrestleMania payoff.
So we're already at 133.
We're at 133
Holy
right now.
shit!
So this one's doing very well. It could still beat 2002. It already beat 2015. It's at 2. 2002 is at 158. So if we all give this, 10s or whatever, or even, I think it'll take even less than that. But the WrestleMania payoff, this is where it gets wacky because
it paid off for Brett, but not Luger.
Brett became a star at that WrestleMania. The Owen match combined with that, his WrestleMania, that was one of the best WrestleManias a guy could have. I really enjoyed both of Brett's matches, and him finally beating Yoko and coming out and not getting screwed by Hogan this time. Brett was the fucking man. And Lex, this is when they gave up on Lex. This is when they're like, he's not our new Hogan. Fuck him. He's losing to Yoko in the undercard. So because of that balance, I'm going to sit it at an 8. I would go 10, but because Lex didn't get much of a payoff at all, Brett got all of it, so I would just give it an 8.
I would have given it a 10 too, but I'm going to give it a 7. Just because Lex got half the shit here.
148. This could take the top spot unless Doug and Cleneth go low.
9.
All right, it's taking the top spot. Man. If you give it a 1, we're 1 point behind 2002. So, Cleneth, what would you give the payoff?
The payoff, I'm going to have to go with a 9 as well. So,
94 is in the lead. 166.
Wow. I did not think that 94. I did not think 94 was going to score as high as it did.
Me either. That finish was good, though.
Yeah.
But for New Generation, they didn't do good in the first couple categories, but towards the end, they really brought it home. That's what's fun about this. All right, Doug. Did you have something, Cleneth?
All right. You going to pick another one? Because I do want to talk about one of them.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead, Cleneth. What do you got?
All right. One of my interesting ones that always stand out was the 2000 Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Oh, this is
Yeah. It's not because of Rock won. It's because of what had one of my favorite 2 cool segments happened. The dance with Scotty Squatty, Grandmaster, and Rikishi. I think that was the highlight of that right there.
It made it. It was a great moment. And what we forget about that, you were right earlier when you said the Royal Rumble 2000 pay-per-view was stacked as a whole. Because we talked about Cactus and Triple H, but Taz's debut was fucking badass, man.
Don't forget the tables match with the Hardys and the Dudleys.
Of course,
yeah.
But the Taz's debut in New York like that, and he got the pentapop. Like, he was fucking... He didn't do shit after that in the WWE, but that was a great debut.
I mean, Eric's favorite moment, I'm sure, was Mae Young showing the tits.
But
yeah, right.
2000?
Yeah, that was 2000. The funny thing is that like they couldn't even put the censor sign up because the damn thing sagged to the side. Like pretty much on her chest, you couldn't see anything because they both sagged over to her love handles.
May she rest in peace.
And that's what pisses me off.
God bless her.
Because that's the contest with BB and all them too, right?
BB and I have the cat having the
where were they for 2000?
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden, New York City in 2000. The racial stuff in America, it's bullshit that Jackie did not get enough of a pop because that woman looked fucking stunning compared to the rest of them. She was the sexiest. Jackie had me fucking going as a kid and now. Watching that back, I don't know why the crowd wasn't into her, and I I want to smack each one of them in the face because Jackie was a beautiful fucking woman, in my opinion. Badass too. She could kick your ass too, but she was a fucking beautiful woman.
Can you imagine her as a prostitute and somebody trying to stiff her? No, just follow me on this.
I don't want
even though we're going down a fucking dark alley. Like imagine her as a prostitute and somebody tries to stiff her. Yeah. Well, I mean, stiff her as in like, not pay her. Okay. She would beat the shit out of the guy and take his fucking wallet. Yeah. Like you do not want to fuck with Jackie.
She deserved more of a pop.
Now, if this ends up into a short and somehow gets sent to her, I'm moving.
Who do you think should have won the contest, Cleneth? May?
I want to go with Jackie.
Thank you. I think we can all agree. She was popping it too.
Wait, did I really just call Jacqueline a prostitute?
Yeah, I mean, you're the worst. But I mean, Jackie deserves her flowers for that one. And the cat didn't look that great. She was showing the least, but 2000. Now that we're done objectifying, 2000.
Well, we already know I'm going to hell.
Well,
right?
the segment was meant to be objectified, so fuck it. That's bullshit. You can't give me a fucking. And I'm supposed to critique this thing. I mean, technically not. We weren't supposed to talk about the rest of the card, but that was a stacked Royal Rumble card. I agree with Cleneth on that one. To me, that should go down as one of the better Royal Rumble cards in history. The match, too cool. Very good segment. Big Show probably looked better than Big Show's ever looked. Besides that, it was The Rock show. We were waiting for The Rock to come out and win it. Rock was the hottest thing in 2000. So if I'm going to rate that based on stars, the only guy that I really thought could win it was Rock. Like Kane was still doing the X-Pac stuff, right?
He was feuding with X-Pac. Yeah.
I didn't think Kane was going to win it.
I thought it was going to be Big Show.
And it looked like it could have been.
Technically, it was a big show. It took him 3 weeks to prove that he won the wrong.
I'm guessing Kenny hurt my man.
Yes. All right. I'm giving the stars just because it was just the Rock show for me. I'm going to give it a 6. I think the star power. Yes, 2000 still had good shit, and they were hot and fucking one of the hottest years in the business. But not having Steve Austin does,
going
it does start
going for his 4th.
Okay, so. Personally, to me, when we talk about the stars and the star power, I know there was only like one guy that we thought was going to win it, which was Rock. I mean, again, I thought Big Show was going to win it, but I look at some of the guys that were in it because some of these guys were stars.
Yeah,
Kane, the rest of DX, Boss Man, Test, Jericho,
Taker,
Rikishi. So I'm giving the stars. I'm giving them a 9.
I'm giving it 7.
I want to give it an 8.
9, 7, 8.
Yep.
And you're 6.
Well, yeah.
So
6, 7, 8, 9.
So we're at 30.
Okay.
30 points coming out the gate. That's not a bad start. The storyline's going into this thing.
All right. Rock and Big Show were having issues with one another. Big Show automatically turned heel because Rock called him a jabroni.
That's what Big Show does is turn heel.
X-Pac and Kane were having their issues.
That was over the Tori Wilson situation, right? Or Terry.
Not Tori Wilson, but the other Tori.
Yeah, the other Tori.
Yeah.
Which that was one of my favorite feuds up to. I love them teaming together and then going against each other. Kane and X-Pac was cool.
You had Big Show, or you had Bossman and Test who had a situation with one another. The whole storyline of Rikishi doing what Diesel did in '94, eliminating 7 men in a row. And you had like side stories, like you had Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly who were having trouble. They were a tag team, but Hardcore was always slapping the shit out of Crash. I mean, personally, for me, for storylines, I would say 8.
For me, I'll give it a 7.
see. I'll give it I'll give it a 7 as well.
Did I rate it?
Not yet.
8. I like the storylines in this. So we're at 60.
Okay.
All right. The action. Like Cleneth said, the Too Cool moment, amazing. There was some really good wrestling. The Attitude Era had some good shit. So based on that alone, yes, 2001's the best, in my opinion, of the Attitude Era and of all time. But 2000 did have some really cool stuff in it. Is there any big moments that you can think of?
I think X-Pac getting thrown out of the ring, but then they did that Steve Austin moment from 97 where the referees didn't see it.
Yeah.
And Kane came back in and he eliminated X-Pac. Again, Rikishi eliminated 7 in a row. Test and Boss Man, being the Iron Man. Big Show picking X-Pac up with one hand and launching him.
Yes.
So for action for me, I would say a 9. What did you say on it?
For action?
Yeah. Or you didn't give it yet. All right. But I'm saying 9.
Because the finish was ass, I know I've been putting that in entertainment, and the finish wasn't ass. It's nice to see The Rock get his moment, but I think that the action was like a 7, in my opinion.
I'm going to give it an 8. I thought the action was good.
I'm going to give it a 9.
93 points we're at.
Okay.
All right, entertainment value, because it's the Attitude Era and it's so much fun, I'm giving it 10.
One of my all-time favorite moments was when Bob Backlund entered. He was a surprise entrant, and he comes out, and Jim Ross, God bless him, goes, "What the hell is Bob Backlund doing here?" And it's like, oh my God, it's Bob, and King had a similar reaction the following year when Honky Tonk came out. He's like, "What the hell?" I love that shit. So, entertainment, I'm giving it a 10 as well.
Because the surprises are always good.
I'm giving it 9.
All right.
I'll give it a 10.
All right, we're at 132.
All right, so it's 33 points away or it's 34 points away from tying 94.
Yeah, 166. All right, 132. The last category, my friend, and I don't think it's going to get there.
No.
If we're going based on my opinion, I don't think it's going to get there.
Payoff wise? No.
Most, but no cigar. Not even a stogie.
I'm gonna
Not even
5.
those exploding comedian cigars.
No.
Yeah.
I'm getting
There was
5.
no payoff in this because
When you
it was
have
a joke.
Well, Eric already said 5.
okay, well,
Wait, you 5?
I think that's too much grace. I agree with Cleneth's tone on that one because
This is one of those times I wish Cleneth was on camera so we could see his facials.
this is one of the most frustrating booking decisions. And thank you. That was so good.
Asking you shall receive.
So bad. When you literally have Steve Austin's gone. You don't have Stone Cold. And you have the hottest babyface in the world, The Rock, and the hottest heel you've ever had, and Triple H, and these two mega powers that have had parallel careers that are ready to collide. And you fucking instead do the ego sucking of fucking McMahon in every corner and show off your stupid fucking family like always, and fucking take Mick Foley. Oh, Mick Foley's back, even though he retired 2 weeks ago. He just fucking had a retirement match, and now he's back. Big Show was not ready to be in this position. There was no reason for those two to be in that match, and then Rock loses.
All right.
So it's
now somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Jericho originally supposed to have Foley's spot because he was on the poster, wasn't he?
He was on the poster. I didn't know if he had the spot. He was on the poster though.
I do not know.
I'm about to have a fuck. But yeah, dude.
I agree with
one of the worst decisions. It was right in front of you. It's like when they talk about doing like in 92 with Hogan and Flair, but it's like way more evident. Like Triple H is the hottest heel, Rock's the hottest babyface. Put them together and make magic. But then they decide to fucking screw it up with this and then make Backlash super loaded for some reason. And then Backlash is better than WrestleMania for some reason. And fucking The Rock gets his big moment there. And I know why they did it, because of Austin. They wanted Austin to be involved and he wouldn't be there. But still, it was time to do it, and they didn't do it. So I'm going to give it a 1.
I'll give it a 0. It was no.
Somebody had to be nice, I guess.
Well, here's actually the thing. I'm not going to. Eric said 5. You said 1. Cleneth said 0.
I'm gonna have to calculate the total points. Huh?
No, you had him. You had it at 132.
Okay. Plus Eric's 5.
Yes. Plus you had a 1. Yeah.
All right. What are you?
All right.
That was so good. Go ahead.
So I kind of agree with what Eric is saying, because personally, I did like the Fatal 4-Way. Do I think it was stupid to have it?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm only going to give it a 3.
Oh, so you guys are nice.
Yeah, way too nice.
Way too nice.
Me and Cleneth were being honest.
Me? Nice? I'm the most miserable bastard on the planet. I am the Michael Bisping, minus the talent on this podcast.
So we settle 2,000 at 141, which is pretty good. That puts it behind 2002 and 94. It's at 3. 2002 is at 158. 94 is at 166.
Okay.
And then behind it's 2015 at 121 and 88 at 59. The first one got shit on hard. So we probably have time for one more Rumble here, especially if we keep, going into the same detail we've gone into. Doug, I think you're the only one that hasn't picked one yet.
Okay, so I'm going to go, because I'm an old fart.
Let me guess.
Go ahead.
91.
89.
Well, no, I'm going to sandwich in between you two. As wrong as that sounds. and I'm going to say 1990. Easy, Tiger.
Oh,
Easy, Tiger. Oh, my God. I think Eric's dead. 1990. In my opinion, probably even a better Rumble than 1992. Even though I do think 92 is one of the greatest of all time, 1990 is actually one of my all-time favorites.
Oh.
That's not the one that was the title was on the line for, right?
No, that's 92 was the one that the title was on the line. 1990 is our first look at Warrior versus Hogan. Your superstars in that match. And again, there was really nothing on the line here. It was just like an event to have all the top guys in the match.
Yeah.
You had Hogan, Warrior, Andre, Savage, Piper, DiBiase, Perfect, Rude, Jake the Snake, American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
This was the golden age in a fucking nutshell.
Exactly.
10 out of 10.
Oh, 100%. I'm going to agree with you, pal.
And yes, and I get it. Hogan's going to win it because it's the Hogan era, but this was stacked with stars. And you started to believe Ultimate Warrior might do it. So, I mean, it was...
And DiBiase, by the way, went 48 minutes.
Yeah, so this thing was packed with talent. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Eric?
I'll give it an 8.
All right, Cleneth?
I'll give it a 7.
All right, we're at 35 points already. Storylines, touch on it, Doug.
All right. Warrior and Dino Bravo had an issue going on because Dino Bravo and Canadian Earthquake attacked Warrior. So you had that issue. You had Perfect was trying to become WWF champion.
Yes.
They had an issue. Him and Hogan. Roddy Piper and Bad News Brown developed their issue for their match at WrestleMania 6 in this match. Demolition wanted a shot at the Colossal Connection, Andre the Giant and Haku for the tag titles. They got into it in this match.
Yeah.
Macho King Randy Savage and Dusty Rhodes, they had interaction earlier in the show on a Brother Love segment. They got into it. DiBiase and Roberts, they had a situation. They got into it. A lot of the big marquee WrestleMania matches were made because of this Royal Rumble. 10.
I would go 9. Eric?
7.
Eric?
7.
I'm going to go as 9 as well.
All right, we're at 70 points going into action. I thought this was a great wrestling match. And, yeah, it's Golden Age, so you're not getting a lot of fucking, suicide dives and fucking, super kicks and shit like that. But it was not too many Canadian destroyers in this one. But it was fun Golden Age action. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I was watching this again. I really warmed up to this one out of all the old school ones. I thought this was a really good one.
Warrior and Hogan having that interaction. The big double clothesline. Demolition eliminating Andre the Giant. Dusty Rhodes eliminating the Macho King Randy Savage. Which were big upsets. 5 guys double teaming and taking out the Earthquake. 10.
Well, we know how Doug feels about this Rumble.
I feel about
he wasn't there.
I feel about this Rumble the way Eric felt about 2015. But I didn't have to. Well, I didn't have to be there to feel that way. It's just
you would have booed Hogan though.
Ha! Yeah,
you would have booed. You hate Hogan, and Hogan was a babyface.
Yeah, Hogan was a babyface.
Fucking hypocrite.
But I preferred Warrior.
Everybody preferred Warrior at the time. Eric.
I'm sorry, I'm giving it 5.
Hogan was getting stale at the time. Really? Eric, he just loves to shit on you. All right, good.
I'm only giving it 5. I'm sorry, Doug.
It's all right. My opinion of you can't get any lower.
Wow. Boo.
He admitted it. He just likes this one. Cleneth, go ahead.
I want to give it an 8.
All right. Entertainment. The moment you brought up, and I was waiting for entertainment to do it, when those two start hitting the ropes, it's fucking hilarious. I don't know what that's supposed to do. I don't know, like they're building up to the action. Like I don't know what running the ropes.
They're supposed. It's like building up ahead of steam.
But I thought it was sick. I was heavily entertained by this Rumble. I would give it a 10 again. Puts it at 112. I thought this was a very.
I'm also going to say 10.
So you're 10 all around so far.
Yeah.
7.
It's better than 5.
Cleneth?
And I'll give it an 8.
All right. We're at 137. So far, we're a few points behind 2000 at 141. In 2002 is at 158 and 94 is at 166. So we could get there with the payoff here. But we'll see how it goes. Because, yes, it's not a thing yet where the Royal Rumble winner takes on. So Hogan wins this, and he's already the champion anyway, right?
Yeah.
And then he defends the – but Warrior had a really good performance in this, and they were setting Warrior up to be the guy, and you can tell. And then he goes out and becomes the guy at WrestleMania. For that alone, I'm going to give that I'll give it an 8.
All right, this is where I'm going to be this is where I'm going to be objective, and I'm going to say I'm not going to go 10. I'll go 9.
Okay. All right. We're 4 points behind.
He has a smug look on his face, so he's gonna say something to piss me off.
He's gonna give it a 1.
No, I'm going to agree with you, Doug, and give it a 9. I tricked you.
Yeah, that's smug, punchable look.
163. So 90 could get the top spot. It's 3 points behind 94. What did you think of the WrestleMania payoff, Cleneth? Do you think the Ultimate Warrior's immersion sucks? Are you going to give it a 1? Or did you like it?
I don't think it sucked. I do enjoy the match. I did enjoy the WrestleMania match between the two. I mean, it's one of the heavy classics. One of the very few classic WrestleMania matches I do enjoy watching. So on that note, I will have to give it a 7.
Okay. That puts this at the lead at 170. 1990 is in the lead so far. We will be back for part 2, gentlemen. This was a lot of fun.
Are we going to do part 2 next week?
No, we already have plans for next week.
Okay.
We'll do part 2 probably next week. Are you going to be back next week, Cleneth?
Cleneth, are you going to be on next week's show?
Yes, I will be.
Oh, maybe we should do this then.
No. I read the text. And, so you guys did not know is I did get transferred to a new Giant. So I do have a new schedule now.
No, I mean, we can start with the review of the. Okay, so next week, here's what we'll do. We'll continue this, but we're going to start off with the review because it's Valentine's Day next week.
Yeah. And you should talk about a live sex celebration on Valentine's Day.
We're going to talk about the January 9, 2006 episode of Raw.
So we're going to start with that, but we are going to do some of this too.
Is that on Netflix, though? Because I realize the whole thing is not on Raw Library. It's not on Netflix.
Point.
Oh, shit.
Should
I look that up?
Yeah.
I have Netflix on my phone.
Yeah, because you do realize that the whole library is not on Netflix. So these Raw recaps.
We just realized it right after you just said it.
What Raw is it again?
January. Shit. January 9th, 2006, I think you said. Yeah, no, 2006 isn't on here. It goes 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, then 2022.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had to put my watch back on hold for right now.
Yeah. So is it on there or no?
No, it's not on there.
Well, because because 2006 is not a year on here. I would probably say no.
I totally fucking blanked out for a second. All right. So
I guess we can do a part 2 then.
So next week, yeah, I mean, a long day at work. But next week, part 2. Thank God, Ron. Thank God Netflix fucked us because part 2, when it's going to be out, we might as well do it. The Royal Rumble rankings. Right. We're keeping the Royal Rumble season going.
So right now, this is at 170.
Yes,
then it's 1990 is at 170. Then 94 is at 176. 2002 is at 158. 2000 141. 2015 121. 1988 is at 59. Did we think that 1990 and 1994 were going to score as high as they did?
No,
I didn't.
No, I thought 94 because 94 doesn't have much star power, so I did not think. But 90, I did think when I went back a while, I was like, this ages really well, so I kind of figured it was gonna do good. Yeah. But this was a lot of fun. We'll be back next week. Make sure to check out the cartoon show with Doug and Eric. SmackDown's about to be on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jetsons versus Hey Arnold versus Rugrats versus Rocket Power tomorrow.
All right. Check that out. Check us out next week, and we'll probably do a breakdown after Raw because I don't see us doing one night after SmackDown. We'll see everybody next time. Cleneth, thank you for joining us, and peace out, guys.
Later.
Go Birds. I had to get that in there.